What an attention seeker. I don't think the Joker chemicals really did all that when he fell in. I think he just wants an excuse to be like that.
The Joker chemicals made me crazy.
That was mild detergent. Amazing.
Thank you. I pride myself on my media literacy.
Hello and welcome to Kalbus. My name is Zen, and with me today is Lumo. And we're taking another delve into r/Tumblr. That's right, it's Tumblr, but on Reddit. But it's Reddit inside Tumblr. It's like a turducken of Tumblr and Reddit.
We're really just looking at the recycling plant of the internet, let's be real.
Let's just jump in, shall we?
Today I learned a philosophy riddle from 1688 was recently solved. If a man born blind can feel the differences between shapes such as spheres and cubes, could he, if given the ability, distinguish those objects by sight alone? In 2003, 5 people had their sight restored through surgery. And no, they could not.
I love when apparently deep questions turn out to have clear empirical answers.
I'm so glad that Mr. Beast solved a philosophy riddle from 1688.
Well, the thing is, they don't need to worry about if they can identify them, because they all go into the square hole.
No!
If your straight guy friend says that he supports gays, tell him that you thought he was gay when you first met him. See how fast he gets upset and insecure and starts asking why you thought that.
My gay guy friend tried this to her straight friend, and the response he got was thought, more like hoped, and then winked. That's a real ally right there.
He really just scalped your poor friend on the spot, didn't he?
Honestly, my personal favorite way to turn everyone down is to just say, well, I might be a throat goat. It's not for you.
Flawless. I can't see any way that could go wrong.
It's called being direct, acknowledging my talents and making sure people know that they are exclusive.
And being direct, we're gonna ask you right now to make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not already.
Only true patriotic throat goats will hit the subscribe button.
Make sure to check out all our socials so you can creep on us just a little bit more.
The subscribe button fact-checked by true patriot.
Let's keep going, shall we?
I don't think I can after that. I hate when for male
It's the only grammatically correct term for women in a sentence because I feel like an incel.
my female manager.
Is shorter than,
My manager who is a woman.
but at what cost?
My girl boss.
Well, now I know it could be worse.
I don't know, I'm kind of on board for girl boss. Why can't all women be girl bosses?
Because some people abuse that managerial power.
That's called a Karen. That's not a girl boss.
I saw a post that was just like, we need government intervention. We have an unregulated use of girl boss. And then it was just a picture of Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, ding dong, the witch is dead.
The witch is dead, the witch is dead.
It can be difficult to understand just how routine-oriented cats can be if you've never owned one. If my oven timer goes off and I'm slow responding to it, my cats will run and fetch me and lead me right to it. Because the beepy thing means the human is supposed to go into the kitchen. And are they the only ones around here who give a damn about the rules?
One night, my partner decided to stay up and play video games, whilst I got an early night, and the cat responded to this by running from the bedroom to the living room yelling. Because only one human had gone to bed, and so is it bedtime or not, humans? Make up your mind! This is no way to run a household. Whenever I play games with 2 of my best friends, if it goes past 9 p.m., I will always hear the phrase, oh, where'd the kitty go? She put herself to bed. Because she knows they don't have a routine, but god damn it, that doesn't mean that she doesn't have to have one.
Every now and again, my cat just sometimes just barges into my room. Like, my door kind of, it doesn't have like a latch or anything like that. You just kind of push and it opens. Mm-hmm. And he's figured out that he is chunky enough that he can just slap against it enough that it opens. So every now and again, I'll just hear boof, 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 and then the door just opens up, and all I hear is meow. And he just wants attention. Like, I look at him and he just flops over.
Animals that can manipulate doors are the world's worst and best. Today I learned humans are bioluminescent and glow in the dark, but the light we emit is 1,000 times weaker than our human eyes are able to pick up.
Forget every product from the beauty industry. I want to know how to increase my natural bioluminescence.
Same.
I think that'd be good.
No,
Great.
actually no. No, this would suck.
Why? Natural nightlight.
Yeah, try sleeping with the light coming from behind your eyes.
Oh, you have a very good point. I think if that's the case, if you're naturally producing light like that, you would adapt.
I mean, maybe. At the same time, I would want it to only be on, like, my fingertips and slowly gradiate towards my arm, just so I can be an edgy anime OC that dates all of the main characters and is their best friend and the fastest and coolest.
No, that's not what you'd be. You'd just be E.T. What city slickers don't understand is that weird noises always come from the forest, and we just ignore it. If you go out to investigate and get got, then that's on you. Ignore it and go back to sleep like a rational person.
The weird noises are always in the forest. They don't come out of the forest and knock on your door. It's only polite not to go into their home without being invited.
Yeah, absolutely. Leave them the hell alone and they'll do the same, usually.
Yeah, I remember one time I came home from a date and my mom wanted me to water the plants because they were on vacation. This was when I lived with my parents, and there was something in the woods watching, and all I could see were its eyes. And when I called my parents, like, hey, I'm having an issue, this is freaking me the hell out, they just nonchalantly went, oh, it's probably just a bear, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, a what? And to don't?
Okay, this is a slight little tangent, but do you believe in the paranormal, the supernatural, all that kind of stuff?
No.
Okay, I do, simply because I've had an experience, and it just made me go, what the fuck? Have I told you my werewolf story?
No, but I'm going to be convinced that this was just a furry convention that got hosted at your old job.
Where I used to live when I was going to high school was a small kind of like cottage in the middle of the countryside. And to get there, I had to walk up a very long, steep hill surrounded by forest on either side, no lights or anything, and I'd have to walk up and go around some farm buildings and walk down a pathway to get to my house. One night, when I was coming back, it was getting dark. At the top of the hill, I saw someone walk along and halfway get on all fours and start running around. They just ran across on all fours. Like they just 2 legs on 4 ran away. When I got up there, I walked past a bunch of the farm buildings. I looked down into them and I heard loud growling. I frickin' ran home. There was no way I was dealing with that.
I hate to tell you this, man, but you just encountered like a high schooler who was reading way too many like Teen Wolf books.
You don't understand. I lived in the middle of nowhere. There should have been no one else there. There's no one else.
I mean, okay, here, I will answer your story with an equally weird story. Back when I used to live with my parents, there was a burned down barn that you had to pass when you drove to it, and a couple of friends were coming up for a convention, and they kept making jokes about how the forest people were gonna get me because the area that I lived was so like barren and desolate. Anyway, we go to day 1 of the con, it's kind of mid, we come back, eat dinner, go to bed, and they're sleeping in a hide-a-bed in our living room. And halfway through the night, one of them springs up, stiff as a board, pointing into the abject darkness outside the window. His girlfriend tries to push his hand back down, tries to move his arm. He is unmoving, he is just pointing in the darkness. And then he slowly just collapses back down, and they were so freaked out by this experience that they left immediately.
I don't blame them. But also, that might have just been your friends just being like, not feeling this. And they just needed an out.
No, they would have told me, that's the thing. They placeboed themselves into the forest people being real.
Oh my god, look at them.
What a weird gerbil.
Quick, spot the main character.
It's so weird how much of a raccoon's raccoonness is tied up in its pattern. It looks like a completely different animal. Some kind of weird marsupial.
I found out that they don't have raccoons in Japan. They have raccoon dogs.
What is... I've actually never thought about this. I know that they have tanuki and whatnot, is what they referred to it as. Raccoon dogs, but what's the difference? Oh my god, that's adorable!
They're just kind of long.
Oh my god, look at them!
They're just like weird, long raccoons.
They are exceedingly close to red pandas.
Yeah. And they're just...
Whoa, middle down. Down.
This?
Down one. Yes! And the one to the left of it. Yes!
He's trying to sell you things.
Where's my dinner, Deborah?
The amount of time that the ancient Egyptian civilization lasted is just so mind-boggling. It lasted over 3,000 years. That's such an insane amount of time. It ended around 30 BC, meaning that it will only be extinct for as long as it existed in around 950 years. Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of Bitcoin than the building of the pyramids of Giza. They were already ancient to her. What the frick?
We have records from the time of Ramses II of ancient Egyptians doing archaeology on monuments that they were already thousands years old to them.
Ancient Egyptian archaeologists. Ancient Egyptian archaeologists. Excuse me, I have to go lay down and think about things.
Do you think back then they had do you think they had Egyptian variants of like Indiana Jones?
Yes. Well, like
Amazing.
my thing is like, why would they not pass down what their monuments were? You know, like the fact that ancient Egypt had people studying ancient Egypt is insane to me.
Well, I mean, if ancient Egypt is studying ancient Egypt, would it just be ancient Egypt is studying ancient Egypt? Like grandpa?
Stop.
Nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who were oppressing them.
I love that it's Pikachu saying this, because Pikachu attained freedom by electrocuting the frick out of Ash and outright refusing to get into the Pokeball. True, on all accounts.
This is a message.
I still think one of the funniest experiences of my life is watching American Soccer with my sister, and afterwards we both went, okay, let's do something lighthearted now, and put on the dubbed version of Howl's Moving Castle, and we both lost our minds when we heard Howl start talking. Isn't it because Howl was Christian
Bale?
Wait, oh, is it Christian
maybe?
Bale? Yes, it's Christian Bale.
Wait, really? Christian Bale did Howl?
Yes.
Howl is Christian. Howl is Sigma male. Does he have a 15-step skincare routine?
Yep, it's Christian Bale.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Wow, now I know.
Damn, you learn something new every day. This will certainly carry me on through my life. I am better for knowing this fact.
When I was in high school, my AP English teacher told us we weren't allowed to eat in class, so I took that as a personal challenge to see what was the most ridiculous thing I could eat in class without getting caught. Well, so I started bringing soup to class, and as soon as I had cracked that lid of my thermos, the tiniest bit, this football player that sat like 3 rows in front of me would go, "I smell meat! Someone has soup!" And no one ever believed him.
Football player has a +2 to perception and a -2 to charisma.
The only valid response.
I'm sorry, can you imagine someone just in the middle of class just going, "I smell soup!"
No, not even that. It's just, "I smell meat."
God, that's so good.
As a non-American, can you explain to me what AP English is? What's the AP part? Armor penetrating?
Advanced placement.
Oh.
It's basically the English for smart kids.
Yeah.
I told my girlfriend that I was having an episode earlier, and she replied,
Is it the beach episode?
and it shocked me so much that it grounded me immediately.
Got asked by a nurse at psych ward, "Are you like legit sad?" As I was sobbing on a chair. Made me stop crying because I was so perplexed.
I want you all to know that this is like a legit strategy that's taught to people. Say something so stupid and absurd that it distracts the person's brain enough that it drags them back and grounds them. Like, people are actually taught to do this. I didn't even need to be taught.
This is the same method I use to help people, stop hiccuping.
Just stop being a fish.
Yeah. No, I just asked them when was the last time you saw a duck. Describe it to me.
Honestly, I think my personal favorite is a friend of mine was sad and I didn't know what to say. And this was like really early on in my life. I think it was in I want to say early middle school. And I had struggled a lot because I just refused to use the bathroom for more than 10 minutes. So I was just constantly sick. And I remember, when I feel bad, I just have to go and crap. So this girl was crying and I remember walking up right next to her and just going, "When was the last time you pooped?" And she stopped crying and just stared at me.
That would do that for anyone, I feel. Like, if someone is having an emotional time and someone just comes up and is like, "When did you last move bowel mints?" It's just gonna be...
Bowel mints!
It's just a little bit off-putting. I put this one in as a Hail Mary.
I'd say it's a Hail Mary.
What if the toys in Toy Story went to a Catholic woman's house and all of her figurines of crucified Jesus started screaming out in endless pain whenever she left the room?
I don't know. I feel like they were made like that, so it's fine. I don't think they'd be screaming.
Oh my god, hold on. Top comment, what if Andy got heavy into 40k in high school? For the Emperor!
I'm just imagining the nightmare stories that not safe for work anime figures would have to say.
Oh my god, all the Rem statues. What stories would they have to tell?
Mine would mostly be sobbing. And that's all the time we have here today on Kalbus. Let us know what your favorite post was down below. I liked the one.
Oh, I did like that one. It was really good.
If you want more r/Tumblr, there'll be another one popping up on your screen in just a couple of seconds. But until then, my name has been Lumo. With me has been Zen.
That is me.
And we hope to see you in the very next Kalbus video. Have a great rest of your day.